trying to get better at taking care of my skin. Okay, so in my last therapy session, I was telling my therapist about something that I created and how I published it and then I took it right back down. I've done this twice, by the way. I didn't tell her that part though, I forgot. Because I put out a poetry book in like 2018 and then that was it. Then I took it back down. But I did it again with a guided journal. And I've been working on it recently because I wanna put it back out, right? So I was telling her about it and she was like, how about this? How about you make a video talking about it and just start there? Because my whole thing is, if I'm afraid to talk about it, I can't sell it. If I won't even tell people about it, I can't sell it. I did all that just to do that, but whatever. She's correct. I can't do that. So this is me talking about it. I said all that to say, I made a journal. I'm gonna tell you about it while I get myself together. So I made a guided journal for basically identifying triggers and processing through them and working through them and all that good stuff. I've tried to get into oil pulling. I know it's like really good for you, but that texture, I gag every time. So if anyone has any tips or tricks for how to get past I just got nauseous thinking about it, so never mind. So anyway, I made this journal when I was going through like the hardest shit in my life. But I'm not gonna say up until this point because I'm not expecting more terrible things like that to happen in my life. So we're not gonna even say that. But yes, I made this journal at during the hardest times of my life. And I was really shocked at myself. When I look back at the process of me creating this journal, I was like, I don't know how the hell I did it. I made a journal. I made, that's when I made my oracle cards. I made another deck before. I was just tired of not being creative because that's how I got through stuff. I got through stuff being creative. And when I was in this situation with, I was in an abusive relationship and I had just gotten out of it, but I still, unfortunately, had to like deal with certain things. So I was constantly in a state of fear and anxiety. I just mouthed wet as hell. Yeah, that was what my life was at the time. And I managed to create something and start the process of getting it published. I actually published it. And then I was so afraid that I didn't know what the fuck to do next. I was like, okay, it's out, now what? Take it off. I was so afraid. For working through triggers. I created something that I needed for me. Because when you're in an abusive relationship or any kind of situation where your nervous system is constantly on alert and you can't relax, one of the most important things you need to do, I just got this water running, oh my God. One of the most important things you need to do is know what sets you off and what your triggers are. And while I was going through that, I was going through my triggers because interacting with this person had me feeling like I was about to die all the time. Like this person it was never a normal conversation. It was exhausting for my mind and my body. Yeah, eventually the following year I ended up going back to therapy, thank goodness, right? Later on, I found a psychiatrist to help me with my anxiety. I have anxiety disorder, I have PTSD. It's not a fun time. So this journal for your triggers is something I wish I had during, being in the thick of it. Being in the thick of it. I really do wish I had it, but I didn't, I was at a point in my stress, my anxiety and my experience where it was just like, okay, you need to create what you need, apparently. All the stuff I was learning about taking care of myself from 2020, because that's when the abusive relationship didn't start there, but that's when my awareness started and I was understanding. I'm doing it again, I'm so sorry. That's where my awareness started. And I started understanding what I was experiencing. And that's where I first started my journey of getting to the root of, like, not blaming myself for being in that situation, but how do I end up back with this person all the time? What is the theme here? What's going on in my life? Let's get to the root. I don't have a toner. I just realized. I'm not a skincare girly. I would like to be. I'm gonna put this on. So the recovery routine journal that I created is basically about understanding yourself when you are in that space. And I think sometimes we don't know why we react to the things that we do. And my journal is just based on lived experience, because I'm not a doctor, I'm not a professional, I cannot diagnose anybody. I just was in school for psychology. I would love to go back, but I have to pay out of pocket. The hell, right? So one day, I would hope that I can create tools for my clients, right? That they can use for their stuff. That's the whole purpose. When you're in a situation like that, or even when you're just depressed, you know? Because I have depression too. I was dealing with that. Got diagnosed for that. And that's not to say that this all started with that relationship. No, the relationship just exposed what was going on with me. And I was dealing with somebody who was just not a safe person to be around. And they did not like me very much. But being in that space took me back to my childhood. Over and over again, constantly going back to my childhood and trying to figure out how I got where I got, you know? Oh boy. I made this journal that hopefully can help other people. And I'm glad I'm talking about it. Because that's the first step. If I want to help people, I gotta at least say, hey, I want to help y'all. I want to, not even that, but like share what helped me. Because I don't fucking know if I'm going to help y'all. I don't fucking know, right? I just know it helped me. Answering these questions, talking to myself all the time. Journaling saved my life. I say that all the time. Journaling saved my life. So it only made sense that I made a journal. Do I put it right here? I don't know, but I'm gonna do it. Oh, my nose ring. Oh, whatever. Yeah, whatever. Okay. Yeah, but it helped me. And I encourage everybody to do it. Whether you were to use my journal when I release it, or just getting a plain old journal and writing in that thing, because that's what I do. I have journals, okay? And that's not all of them. These are my journals. That's not all of them. I have stuff in other places, but one day I'm gonna get all my journals together, stack them all up, put the years on them like I did on the spine of these. Over with. I like tracking my life in that way. And I would love for my kids to go back and like look at my journals and be like, what the fuck was mommy going through this day? Because, bitch, you said what? Like, you know? Yeah, I like that. I enjoy that. Because I'm really just myself in my journals. And what I mean by that is there are just thoughts and feelings we cannot express to everybody. Like, I had this thought about X, Y, and Z. I'm not gonna say that to nobody, but probably my therapist. Okay, everybody don't need to know every thought and feeling that comes up inside of you. That's not how that works. I used to be that girl. I shared all the things. I felt like I was supposed to share all that with people. How else are we gonna, be close if I don't share my entire everything with you? Not that girl. Journaling saved my life. It saved my life. Legit. In a lot of different ways. So I'm glad I made this journal, and I'm glad I'm talking about it. And that's it. After I take this mask off, I'm gonna use this, and I'm gonna, there's also glycerin. So it's like the same consistency. I know it's lightest to heaviest when it comes to the stuff you put on your face. I know that, okay, right? This is the snail mucin stuff, right? And then this is just glycerin. I'm gonna use both. By the time this video goes up, it already happened, guys. But if y'all know or have suggestions if I should use both or not, I would love someone to tell me. I would love somebody to tell me, because I am new to the skin. I'm always starting a new skincare thing, but I'm using what I have versus getting more. And then after this, right, I'm gonna do my sunscreen. And then this is lip sleeping mask, but I use it like regular lip balm. Okay, so I'm gonna put that up there after I take this off. And then I like to put a sealant, because it's a sealant, right? Shea butter. Shea butter ain't never let me down. And then top my lips off with some Aquaphor. Aquaphor ain't never let me down. Okay. All right. Probably going to come back to talk more about my journal, because I want to build up my confidence in talking about it. That's the whole point of me making videos about it, because I want to build up my confidence talking about it, because I create a lot of cool things, I think, but I'm just afraid to talk about them, and I'm afraid to like promote them and market them, because I don't know how to do that, number one. But also it's just like, can I do this? Well, bitch, you're going to keep talking about it till you believe that you can. So thank you for watching, and I'll see you in my next video, I guess. My next TikTok. It might not even be related to this. Knowing me, I'm probably gonna make a completely, I'm gonna stop talking, I'm rambling.